Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. How we doing today? Happy Friday. It's everyone here. Any plans for the weekend? Anyone doing anything fun, crazy, exciting? I don't know if I have anything particularly planned this weekend. I have a birthday party that I am still debating if I'm going to tonight, because I'm really on a roll right now. And I know that if I go to this birthday party, I'll probably eat and we'll probably have a 20% day. But I also know that there's only a limited amount of time before I move out of the country. So we'll see. I got to balance things out. Anyway, it's a cold day here in Chicago. I'm really not used to this cold. At this point, this morning, I was wearing so many layers because there was like a freeze warning, and it was, I think, like 6:20 in the morning when I walked outside. It was just so cold. But I got my walk in. I got a good amount of steps in. It's been a very busy day today. I also have back-to-back coaching sessions today. So we have a hard stop today, somewhere around 3:10 p.m., probably at the latest. So we only got an hour today. Manla, Babita, Tanisha, Writer family, Tommy, hi. Deja, hello. Happy Bunny, nice to see you in here as always. Sid as well, GYSD, how's it going? Randall, peace to all. Ronnie, did I say hi to Ronnie? Anyway, hi again, Ronnie. If not, Aqua Plants, how's it going? Willis, nice to see you as well. Trumpet, hello, hello. There's so many regulars. I love it. Tanya, Margaret from Facebook, Adeline, Silencer. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Have I? Hello, either way. Lucy, how's it going? Gloria, A, it's so nice to see you, A. Nice to see you jumping in. Shauna, Shara, have I said hi to you before, Shara? I don't know if I have. Melly Mel, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Judy, hi. Hi, Judy. Sharika, hello. Nice to see you all. Welcome. There's a good amount of you in here. I'm glad you're here for today's accountability live stream. UK, I've seen you in here as well. Or UK. I mean, I have seen you here, UK, but hello is what I meant to say. How are we doing today? Today is another day on my journey, but it's also another day for you. How are you doing? Nando, I see you in here. Hello, hello. Welcome. This is an accountability live stream. What do I mean by that? This is where I share with you where I'm at fasting wise, where I'm at weight wise, where I'm at food wise, what I'm thinking in my head. And even today there's a birthday. Today there's a birthday party that I have to go to. Well, I don't have to go, but I'm on the fence about it because if I'm being honest, I kind of just want to go through my routine today because I'd like to save my calories for a different day. But see, these are the things that happen, right? With life. Life, you get thrown in these different situations. It's really your call on how you're going to handle it. I could go to this party and not eat, but if I do that, then I won't be refeeding until later tonight. And I could eat at the party, but I also know that it's probably not going to be the healthiest choices. And I don't know. See, that's where I'm at right now. Anyway, remember, this autophagy live stream is to talk about all of these things, to share with you what's going through my head, but this is also an opportunity for you to share what's going on your journey. If you've noticed, people in chat share their journey. They're sharing what they're doing. They're having other people chime in and support what they're doing, or at least cheering them on to keep pushing forward. And I encourage that. I think it's really important that we do this together as a community. I know that it's helpful to many of you. I know that many of you who might be on the fence of breaking early might benefit from coming to these live streams knowing that you're not alone. And it's also one of the reasons I go through chat here. So we can take some time and see how other people are doing. And for me to at least give maybe some advice or at least my insights on how things are and to keep you pushing forward. Maggie May says currently 25 hours fasted. I was sick this morning and don't feel like breaking my fast today. Congrats on being 25 hours fasted. I'm sorry you're not feeling so well. Are you still feeling sick? Hopefully better, Maggie May. But that's how I am too when I get sick. If I'm not feeling well, I will actually fast even more or harder. I don't know how you fast harder, but I'm more determined to fast, is what I'm saying, when I am not feeling well. Because I tell myself, well, I'm not even that hungry at this point. I know a lot of people, when they get sick, they start reverting to, okay, that means I get to order out. And I get it, it's comfort, but are you eating out of true hunger or are you eating out of comfort? Are you eating because now you're sick and you don't feel the best and you think the best solution then is to just eat bad? Anyway, Maggie, I hope you're feeling better. Congrats on being 25 hours fasted in. Miss Peaceful One says, today was a 20% day for me. Congrats. Congrats. Well, I always look at a 20% day as fun days for me. So I love that you have a 20% day. I broke at 65 hours. Congrats on the 65, Miss Peaceful One. I had a junior cheeseburger and fries. Are we talking Wendy's here? Is that what you mean by a junior cheeseburger? Wendy's is one of my go-to places when it comes to like a fast food burger, as well as some fish and veggies. And so remember, as I'm talking about this, everyone who's here, Miss Peaceful One had a 20% day, which means for people who are not aware of what a 20% day is, these are moments where you will usually eat out of your normal caloric range, or you might go out and grab some food. There's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no embarrassment about it. This is how life works. Not every day is going to be chicken, broccoli, and a baked potato or rice. There are going to be days where, like I said, for me, I might be going out today, might be going to a birthday party, might have extra food there that I hadn't intended to eat, but we'll see how that goes. And so even as I see this, Miss Peaceful One talks about having a burger and fries, but also having some fish and veggies. So still having other nutritious food outside of just unhealthy the entire time. And if that's what Miss Peaceful wanted to do, that's fine as well. But to me, I read this and it looks like Miss Peaceful One is still trying to work every lever, saying, okay, I can still eat these other foods, but I can also eat some healthy ones as well. Also, I see 2 oatmeal cookies. Actually, oatmeal cookies are one of my favorite things to eat. Congrats on the 65, Miss Peaceful One. Keep us posted on what your journey continues to look like. I know you will. Almadas says, today, day 21, 3 weeks, Almadas, in it. It was a bit of a pain for today. You did a 23-hour fast with a 1-hour eating window, thinking about food less and less. Overall, an okay day. It sounds like an okay day to me. I mean, how do you feel over these last 21 days? Here's a question to ask yourself. In the last 21 days, has it been completely perfect? Probably not. But have you shown up for yourself every single day for the last 3 weeks? And in those 3 weeks, do you feel like your habits have changed? I mean, for you to say thinking about food less and less sounds like an improvement to me. It sounds like that even during some bad moments or moments where you feel like the hunger might completely overtake you, or even just having a rough patch here and there, my guess is the majority of those days have been better than worse. Fair to say? Almadas, thank you for sharing with us. Okay, I'm reading down here. I know I can't get to everyone today, especially because I'm on a time constraint, but I want to try to read what I can. Ian says 1.6 pounds down on the scale this morning. Congrats, Ian. Congrats. The low calorie refeed yesterday seemed to work, pushing a 26-hour fast for tomorrow. Keep us posted, Ian. I love that Ian is here every day sharing his progress, whether good or bad. Remember, the importance here, and I talked about this yesterday, of accountability is to show up even on the bad days, because that is how you stay aware. That's how you stay honest. So, Ian, thank you for sharing with us. Good luck on the 26-hour fast. And Ian even working his other weight loss levers, keeping a low calorie refeed. Does every refeed have to be super low calorie? No, but you use it every now and then, especially if you feel like you can push during that time, just like fasting, no different. Thank you for sharing with us, Ian. Sleck says, I'm 20 hours fasted. Tonight, I want to go home from work without buying any groceries so I can keep my fast going through tomorrow. Keep us posted, Sleck. Let us know how that goes. Congrats on being 20 hours fasted in. Hopefully work goes by, no problem. You know what it's like to get food afterwards, is my guess. Is maybe you put yourself in a position of, this is a habit that you've gotten so used to. So maybe tonight, if you're feeling it, you break that habit. Or if you do end up buying groceries, you eat clean. That is still changing the habit. Keep us posted, Slack. Thank you for sharing. Mandla says, number one, hey all. Day 24 of my fasting journey. Congrats on being 24 days in. It's refeed day. I broke my fast at 40 hours. Congrats on the ADF. It's a friend's birthday. Oh, so you're like me. We're in the same position here. So yes, I'm having cake. Enjoy that. I'm learning to enjoy special moments without guilt. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. These are opportunities for all of us to understand that these days will happen. And Mandla is realizing that today. It's a birthday party, probably going to eat cake, maybe something else, but it doesn't have to go completely bonkers. You could still put some control into it. And for Mandla to say, it's a special moment, I don't want to feel guilty about it. Mandla also says, I'm learning to enjoy special moments without guilt. Down 7.8 kg, that's 17 pounds so far, feeling grateful and proud. We're proud of you, Mandla. Thank you for sharing with us. That's great progress. When I see these comments in chat, this is a whole group of us making it work, not by any specific protocol, not by eating exactly the same, not by exercising exactly the same, but doing what works for us, applying a fasting protocol when we need it, giving ourselves grace when it's time to take a step back, but continuing to work on everything outside of just fasting or eating a certain way. So thank you for sharing with us, Mandla, and congrats on your success. Tommy says, sup, Jay Countable and my fasting peeps. Your boy had a football game last night and ate late. How'd the football game go, Tommy? Had a chicken salad sandwich and that was it. Wow, that's it? So here is somebody who has shared with us time and time again. Tommy has had ups and downs, has had a lot of moments happen in his life. And eating late is one of those moments that's difficult for Tommy. Yesterday, Tommy had shared that having a pickle spear or two is helpful. And maybe drinking a 0-calorie drink is helpful and was able to help him get through a late night meal or eating late at night. But here's Tommy also showing that not every day is going to be perfect. And even though Tommy ate late last night, it was just a chicken salad sandwich. Probably a lot better than what Tommy shared before during some of those evenings. This is Tommy maybe finding a middle ground and saying, okay, tonight, maybe it's not just going to be a pickle spear or two. Maybe I will have something, but I'll keep it in control. Yes, I know it's late at night and maybe not something I want to do, but this is what I'm talking about. Imperfect consistency means that these moments will happen, but hopefully the frequency of them happening becomes less and less and less. Thank you for sharing with us, Tommy. I appreciate you being honest about everything that you're doing. Thank you again. Deja says, hey, peeps, day 2 of 10 of my fast. I've realized I'm such a cranky mom when I'm fasting, not sure how to work around that. You got to work your hacks, Deja. I think part of it as well is sometimes you just have to live in that moment. You're fasting, you're not going to feel the best. And as long as you can function properly, then hopefully most of it is just psychological instead of a physical ailment. There are other ways to work around this. 0-calorie drinks. I mean, you've talked about this yesterday as well. You know what these hacks look like. So hopefully you can try some of these things out and hopefully they're helpful for you. But even if you just realize, yeah, I get cranky sometimes, it's tough sometimes, especially when you're doing a 10-day fast. I mean, that's a lot of time there. 10 days already feels so daunting, feeling off my game for some reason. That's normal to feel that way. You know what a backup plan looks like. You know what a backup to your backup plan looks like. So Deja, don't beat yourself up over it. If anything, just keep pushing forward. I would say try to use your hacks in different stages. If water isn't doing it for you right now, electrolytes. If it's not electrolytes, try a 0-calorie drink. If it's not a 0-calorie drink, maybe it's like what Tommy says. If it's a pickle spear, if it's bone broth, if it's pickle juice, if it's MCT oil in your coffee, if it's butter, whatever it might be, try those things out. And then if you've exhausted all those options and it comes to breaking, then it becomes a clean break. Keep us posted, Deja. I know it's tough, especially to say, hey, I'm going to start a 10-day, but keep us posted. Let us know. Either way, you're putting the work in. That's all that matters. Aisha says, I'm down 2 pounds from yesterday. Congrats. Congrats, Aisha. Aisha's been putting a lot of work in. My morning weight today is 182. Got up at 4:10, drank over 3 liters of water, and walked 90 minutes so far. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm close to 22 hours fasted so far. Congrats, Aisha. Aisha has really found her routine. I mean, I can't speak for Aisha exclusively, but to me, as I read her journey on a daily basis, it really looks like the routine is down and figuring things out along the way. Thank you for sharing with us, Aisha, and congrats on being another 2 pounds down. Happy Bunny says, hi, Happy Bunny. I kept my appointment at the gym today and was very busy all day. I gave myself a break from overthinking food and took a break. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to have good days. And then some days, you got to give yourself some grace. Take a step back, just like you did. I made nachos. I'm super tired, not sure I can do the gym tomorrow. And don't beat yourself up over it. Just like there shouldn't be guilt around that. You put in a lot of work, Happy Bunny. You have to also understand that rest and recovery are important days for you. And these are still learning moments for you to say, okay, today I'm going to relax. Does it mean that you have to eat all day, every day? No. Does it mean that every food that you eat today has to be the unhealthiest? No. It can be if you want, but you have to make that decision. You have to be aware of that decision. You have to tell yourself, yes, I'm going to make this conscious decision instead of just saying, well, here we go again. I already ate nachos, so I might as well eat X, Y, and Z. And you know it doesn't have to go that way. So thank you for sharing with us, Happy Bunny. Sid, day 12 of a 30-day fast. Congrats on the amazing success. 12 days in. Definitely feels much more doable now. Really helped to not crack the first couple of days, especially when I got stressed out. Having a routine helps. Boredom leads to cravings. How many of us have used food to cure boredom? How many of us turn to food because we're bored? Because you're in front of the TV and watching TV isn't enough for you. You need to eat something on top of it, even if you're not hungry. Sid, congrats on being 12 days in. I have been giving you that spiel day in and day out, but I think you know what you need to do if it doesn't hit 30, but you're on a mission right now. So keep pushing on, keep us posted. That's amazing progress being 12 days in. Sid, I'm curious, what's the longest you've done before that? I don't know if you've shared with us, but I just figured I'd ask. Congrats again, Sid. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. GYSD says, FYI, can't comment too much, but 3.25 miles into another beach walk. Sand walking is a calf killer. It definitely is. Walking on sand is not my favorite thing to do. So you're putting work in. You're putting work in while you're on your trip, while you're on vacation. But yesterday's calories spent was worth it. And this is GYSD putting calories to work. This is what happens when I have big refeeds and then I go to the gym the next day and I walk 15,000 steps. I'm putting my calories to work. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take that time to be like, okay, I might have ate a little bit the day before. I might as well put myself on a fast or take some time away from food and use the calories to your advantage. Cardio health or building or maintaining muscle. Thank you for sharing with us, GYSD. Okay, I'm going to scroll a bit down here. Again, like I said, what time are we at? We're already at 2:30, everyone. I have a call in 45 minutes, so I'm going to try to go here as quickly as I can. Trumpet says, hi, everyone. I did a feed yesterday, but I'm on my walk today. Great. Hopefully I can get more steps in than yesterday. And that's what it's about. Not every day is going to be a huge fasting routine. Some days you're going to have to work your other weight loss levers. Thank you for sharing with us, Trumpet. Hopefully your feed or your refeed was good yesterday. Thanks, Margaret. Margaret says, hey, Jerome, I'm excited to see your new low weight. I mean, it's lower than last time, but it's not like anything crazy, but thank you. Silencer says, just completed my 19 hours of fasting. Congrats, Silencer. What's your plan after this? What do you intend to do? Share some accountability with us on what your next plans are afterwards. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to see if anything else. Adeline says, I took off for 3 days. We'll be going to the gym to start strength training. Let us know how that goes. Is this the first time for you strength training? Is this something that you're just getting introduced to, or is this something you've been doing for a while? I can't remember exactly, Adeline, what your routine's been like, but continue sharing with us. Thank you for letting us know. Shauna says, I'm here. I'm bummed with myself, rethinking decisions. Fasting is fine. Intake is acceptable. Just did a workout that showed me how far from my best I've gotten, but still did it. Hashtag imperfect. Shauna, I mean, you've been putting a lot of work in. I know personally because you've been sharing with us on our Wednesday live streams. So when you're talking about rethinking decisions, and I know I probably won't be able to like get into the meat of what's going on right now, but when you're talking about rethinking decisions, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about here. Is it because of your workout? Just did a workout that showed me how far from my best I have gotten. Ah, I see. Because you've gone or you've pushed harder before? Is that what you mean by that? And maybe how things have gone since then? I mean, this is always going to take work. I know you know this, and I don't know. Hopefully, I'm understanding correctly. But Shauna, you're here. That's what matters. Feeling this way is a normal thing to feel, especially how many of us have lost an incredible amount of weight and gained it back and then felt deflated. I mean, I've been there. You all know that. You've all seen it happen with me when I initially lost this weight and gained it all back. But I know that with work and showing up, you'll get to where you need to be. So, Shauna, this is how the journey works. This is life. It's all part of the process. If anything, this is your moment now to just continue with your journey, continue on your journey, learn from what you're doing. I know I sound very repetitive, but hopefully the reminder is there that we're all behind this with you. When you say I'm here too. We all are. I want you to know you're not alone. I know you're not the only person that feels this way. So, but I get it. It's sometimes. It's really important to just have those moments. And I've had it too, where sometimes I tell people, I'm like, just let me feel this way for now. I know you'll be able to pick it back up, right? And keep going. Just like you said, it's about imperfect consistency. So thank you for sharing with us, Shauna, especially when it comes to something like that. Jeffrey says, click the timer last night at 11, looking to go all the way up until Sunday at 6 p.m. Going to break my fast with KBVQ for my nephew's birthday. Jeffrey, I don't know if I've seen you here before, but I'm like thinking in the back of my head, have I seen Jeffrey before? But I can't remember. And I apologize if I do and I forgot. But keep us posted on what this journey looks like, on what this fast looks like, particularly. So you hit your timer. Now I'm going to share this with you, Jeffrey. I always say this, especially to people who I don't see come in here often, but your plan is to fast throughout the weekend. Weekends are tough because a lot of times people are going out during the weekend, but you have something special happening on Sunday. This is an opportunity for you to really test your fasting muscle. But if you're not able to push until Sunday, if you end up breaking earlier for whatever reason, the backup plan is simple. You break, you keep your refeed clean, and then you push again until Sunday. For whatever reason, if you end up breaking earlier, it doesn't mean that you have to throw away the day or the rest of the weekend. This is, again, an opportunity for you and anyone listening to this right now to still continue doing good things for yourself instead of throwing away the day. Thank you for sharing with us, Jeffrey. If anything, come back tomorrow. Let us know how you're doing. Show up and be accountable in that way. All right, everyone. We are 30 minutes in. I'll probably read one or two more on here. E. Gunner. Is it E. Gunner or E. Gunner? E. Gunner is my guess. Hi, I'm on an open-ended fast on hour 24. Congrats on being 24 hours in. Kind of have hunger creeping in, but I'm keeping on. I've gained weight lately, binging, but now I'm back on track, eating clean and fasting as long as possible. E. Gunner, thank you for sharing that with us. I completely relate with all of this. I've gained weight also through binging in the past, and I just want you to keep your head up with what you're doing. I know you probably feel really good right now fasting for this long. If anything, I will always say this, regardless of how long that fast goes, maybe the biggest thing for you to do, regardless of how long, how many hours, is can you make sure that you don't put yourself in that binge? And instead, you either keep it clean, keep the calories in check, but if it becomes an overeating episode, then that's what it is. There's a clear difference between binging and overeating. So I hope you know what that difference looks like. I would love to even hear you tell me when you break and say, hey, Jerome, I didn't binge that day. I will eventually read through all the comments I do every day. So please keep us posted, E. Gunner. Thank you for sharing with us. And congrats on being 24 hours fasted in. JC, 1,000 calories, 65 grams of fiber today. Keeping it low cal, it looks like. Kudos to you. I wish I could limit calories in that way every now and then. It's a very hard thing for me to do. So thank you for sharing with us. Hi, Elle. I see you in here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, everyone, I do need to get into my stats for the day. I have less than 45 minutes at this point, but I am going to try to run through this. If there is anything that you still want to share, please feel free to throw it up here. If I am talking about my nerd stats and I have time to read through something specific, I will. So please feel free to do that. With that being said, let me go ahead. Let me share my stats if I can get this up. Why is it not? StreamYard is so annoying sometimes. Today is Friday, October 24th. When's Halloween? Is it Friday? Is Friday Halloween? I'm on day 719 of my journey. Has it been 719 perfect days? It has not. It has been a journey, to say the least. A lot of good days, but also some bad days, bumps in the road. But I look at that as a very small blip on the radar. With where I'm at now, I've realized that I have to accept the bad days. I have to accept the fact that I will have bad days. I will have bumps in the road. And the most important thing that I can do for myself on those bad days is to show up, is to be accountable, which is why you see me here every day sharing with you all, letting you know where I'm at in my head, because I know the moment that I start to let that slip is the moment I start having the bad habits creep back in. What are those bad habits? Hiding food, overeating, not being accountable, not stepping on the scale. It's a slippery slope for me. I know there are probably a number of you here that can relate with that. So that is why the accountability part is so important for me. Aisha says, yes, it's next Friday. Oh, that's nice that Halloween's on a Friday. I guess it's different for me now because when I was younger, I would be so excited, and I don't really do anything anymore for Halloween. In the last 93 days, as I have been live streaming every single day, I have done a whole slew of different amounts of fasts. The majority of it have been ADF. Yes, I don't really fast 90 plus hours at this point anymore. I will on occasion. You'll see it there. But for the most part, I do a lot of rounds of alternate day fasts. I am currently completing, or I've already completed my third round of ADF. I am currently 41 and a half hours fasted. I will be breaking later tonight. Whether I go to this birthday party or not has yet to be seen. You'll all find out tomorrow anyway, because I record pretty much everything I eat. But in the last 93 days, I have had shorter fasts, long fasts, days where I've eaten under 3,000 calories, close to 2,000 calories even. But other days where I'm dressing, I saw Maggie's comment and it got in my head. I'm eating more than 5,000, 7,500 calories, sometimes close to 10,000 calories. Maggie says, Jerome, are you going to dress up for our live stream on Halloween? If I dressed up, I would have to walk into this co-working office dressed up. I don't know if I would be the only one. I don't even have a costume. I could just wear my old Mario costume, but that's already packed away in storage because I don't have a lot of stuff anymore. I don't know. Maybe I can come up with something. Anyway, I have pretty much been accountable for the last 93 days, and that's what got me to drop the weight again and start hitting low weights again, or lower weights, hitting record low weights. Because for me, being accountable means I can't hide, I can't run away, I can't pretend I didn't eat something. That's why I'm as accountable as I can be. It doesn't mean that you have to be, but if it's helpful for you, this is why I tell people, share in chat, let us know how you're doing. In the last 718 days of my journey, I have done longer fasts at the beginning. In the first 5 months of my journey, I was fasting for almost 4 days and I lost 80 pounds that way. But to me, what's more impressive is the fact that since then, I've maintained the weight. I've continued to keep it off. Yes, I have gone up and down every now and then, but for the most part, I've kept it off. My last 10 refeeds, you'll see here, has been lately around like 3,500 calories. It's actually kept itself at a pretty steady state, which even I am surprised about. Aisha says, I'm still waiting for you to dress up as Luigi. That's actually a good one, since I was Mario before. I like that. I don't know if I'm going to go buy a whole Luigi outfit before Halloween and before I leave the country, but that's not a bad idea. I'll have to think about that. So yes, I hit a low weight this morning. And I was about 30-ish hours fasted at that point. Why is this not working? I meant to add it onto my video screen, but it's okay. So just so you know, that's where I hit weight today, right at 139 even. This is the lowest weight I've been in over a year for sure. I can't remember exactly, but my weight before that was 139.8. Well, here, actually, let me share this screen with you, okay? If you look at my last 10 refeed weights and my last 10 fasted weights, if you look at the right side of the screen where it's highlighted in blue, look at how many times I am starting to break into the 130s now. I have been waiting for this moment. Remember, when I started this journey and I was doing it on a daily basis, I was somewhere around 150 something after a fast. But that number has continued to push itself down more and more and more. There are those days, if you see where it's highlighted in red, where I'll gain anywhere between 4 and 6 pounds after a refeed. That's typical for me after having a refeed. It's not like I gained 4 to 6 pounds of fat in a day or after a refeed. And it's also not like I have lost 4 to 6 pounds of fat after a 25 plus hour fast. I mean, look at the very bottom right there. I lost 6 pounds this morning. I went from 145 even down to 139. The scale is going to fluctuate. Am I happy to see myself breaking into the 130s again? Yes, of course I am. But I know it isn't everything. I know that I am still working on building muscle. I know I still have excess body fat on me that I can afford to lose. Those are the things that are more important to me. Yes, I will take the 130 point whatever as a win. But this is what is expected if you put the work in. I don't worry so much about this number because I know this number will come if I trust the process, if I continue to do what I'm doing. So this is where I'm today. After like 25 plus hours fasted, 30-ish hours fasted, breaking back into the 130s. This is also why I'm being very picky about, should I go to this party tonight and eat? Because I know that if I can just eat clean again tonight, or at least keep it clean around 3,500 calories, I will probably continue to stay in the 130s after another round of ADF. We'll see. We'll see. If you look at my last 44 refeeds, my average refeed time is around 4.5 hours. Thank you all for the kind words. My average calories per refeed still over 4,000. Average protein around 200. These numbers are pretty good for me. It's a lot better than the 6,000 or 7,000 calories I used to eat, but I would love to be closer to around the 3,000 mark. Miss Peaceful One. I'm almost at this point where I'm like, Miss Peaceful One, why? You don't always have to. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for your continued support. As always, I appreciate you. As always, you know that I will always throw up this thank you emoji, but Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One says, congrats on hitting your new low. Thank you, Miss Peaceful One. If there is a face for hashtag imperfect consistency, yours is it. Thank you so much. Thank you for paving the way for us. You're very welcome. It really reminds me that as I continue to break these weights again and do it in a different way, because remember, before I used to be in the 130s, but think about how I had to get there. For me to get to the 130s before, I had to fast for 65 or 90 or more hours over and over and over. I no longer have to do that. I've been able to get to this weight by fasting for less. And I'm not saying that you have to fast for less. You want to push a long fast, that's fine. But I am now starting to show the versatility of what I can do. I can fast for long periods of time. I can fast for short periods of time. I can control my calories. I can eat better. I can also out eat pretty much everyone probably in here right now. I get my steps in. I strength train. I sleep good. I'm always working on this part of myself as well, the psychological part. This is a really important thing for all of you to remember, because yes, there are probably some of you that are great at fasting for long periods of time, but can you also fast for a short period of time? Can you also control the calories? Maybe yes, maybe no. That part for me is still very, very difficult, but it's something that I take pride in doing because I know I have to be good at that. I have to be better about it. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate the support as always. For me, it's very meaningful that many of you look at me as inspiration and motivation in that way. If anything, like if anyone's watching this, I just want you to know that you can do it too. This is right. You don't see me here just pushing long fast over long fast over long fast time and time again. I can if I want to. I always like to remind people, especially when people talk about, well, I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but I know that I can push if I need to. I know that. I just want people to understand that you can also achieve success without having to be perfect all the time. That's all I mean. Okay. And here is another example of imperfect consistency. Over the last 93 days, I have been averaging over 15,000 steps per day. It's a lot of steps that I do per day. But look at yesterday's step count. It was a lot less than it used to be. It was around 11,000 steps. Now, I know it's still a good amount of steps for people in general, but this is also for me back in the past. If I didn't hit my quote unquote like goal step count that I set for myself, sometimes that would be enough to trigger me to say, well, I didn't get my step count, so now I'm going to binge. That doesn't happen anymore because I know that I can still practice imperfect consistency. I had a long day yesterday and I got home yesterday and I was like, I didn't get my 15,000 steps in. Should I go walk in the evening? And I was like, I was tired. I was so tired last night. I had a long day and I think I was like falling asleep already by like 8:45. That's just the old man in me at this point. And I woke up at like 5:20 or so in the morning, something like that. And I actually took a little time before I went for my walk because I was just trying to warm up a little bit. But again, I'm not perfect on my journey. And there's nothing wrong with that because I know that I'm still fasting. I'm still going to get up the next day and get my steps in. And right now, even today, I'm already over my 15,000 steps. I walked extra today because I knew that I took some time off yesterday. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Speaking of imperfect consistency and not being perfect, I practice something called the 80-20 rule. What is the 80-20 rule? Do any of you practice the 80-20 rule? For me, when I talk about 80-20, that means that 80% of the time on my journey, I do what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm fasting, I'm keeping my calories in check, I'm eating good, I'm getting my steps in, I'm lifting weights 80% of the time. The other 20% of the time, that's when I am eating whatever. I'll go out with friends. I might go out to this birthday party tonight. I might drink. I might eat more than expected. But the frequency of that happening happens only 20% of the time. Adeline just gifted or just super chatted $50. Adeline, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. That is a huge donation. Thank you for the support. You guys are ridiculous. You guys, yesterday as well, all of you guys supporting. Adeline, that's such a huge donation. Thank you so much. Adeline says, I'm trading all my lunch for 28th to the 31st. Thanks, Jerome, for showing up every day to encourage us. You're very welcome. Are you saying this $50 is your lunch during that time? Adeline, thank you so much for the support. And you know what, Adeline, I'll tell you this. On the 28th to the 31st, if if you're able to jump on these live streams, share with us and be like, yep, no lunch today. No lunch today. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. This is me trying to give you that accountability. So if you're able to jump on and let us know, please keep us posted. But Adeline, thank you so much for the huge donation. I appreciate you. God, you guys are, I feel bad sometimes too, because these are such huge donations. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you, Adeline. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I can be helpful for you as well. Okay. I already lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? 80-20. 80-20. So in the last 93 days of my journey, I have had 79 80% days. That is right now currently an 85% split. So I'm above my 80-20 rule at this point. My 20% days, yeah, I might eat almost 6,000 calories, but that only happens 14 of the last 93 days, or a 15% average, or 50. Yeah. So I'm currently on an 85-15 split right now. You don't have to have an 80-20 day. You don't have to have days where you eat 6,000 calories. I do that because for me, it helps me say, okay, make sure you don't have too many of these days. And yes, you will have these days, and allocate them. Keep them on the side for when you get invited to go to a party, when you go on vacation, when you have a last minute thing to go to because your friends decide they want to go to an all you can eat Korean barbecue spot and you want to join them. Yeah, I might eat that much during that time, but it's so far and few between at this point. Thank you again, Adeline. It's such a huge donation. I wish there were other ways that I can thank you all when some of you drop those huge donations on there. So again, Adeline, thank you so much. So here is what I have planned for the month of October. And can you believe we're already on October 24th, and this goal is almost complete at this point. I'm at this place now where I told myself, it's not about how long you can fast for. It's not about what the scale says, but I am more interested in making sure I lose this excess body fat. And I will be pinching at that body fat later on Fit Check. But I told myself, just get yourself in a caloric deficit of 10,500. Now, I'm going to remind you, calories don't mean everything. They don't. This is just a rough guideline to make sure that I'm doing the things that I should be doing. Just like the scale. The scale is not the Bible. The scale is not what is written on stone. And if it's not where it should be, then death to you, right? It doesn't work that way. Yes, I count calories, but I'm very rough when I count those calories. It isn't accurate to the T. I'm not putting drops of like grains of rice and saying it has to be, no, I don't do that. This is a guideline, but I also know the guideline works because especially on my 20% days when I go out and I drink and I eat pizza, I am not counting calories to the T, but I'm giving myself at least a roundabout estimate of what that looks like. So my only goal is to be at a caloric deficit of 10,500 for the entire month of October. If you look at what's highlighted in green, that is me hitting my caloric pace. Every single day, I'm trying to put my calorie pace at around 339 calories to be at a deficit of 339. If you look at where it's highlighted in yellow, that is where I did not hit my pace. So on those days, that's where ADF comes in handy because ADF will throw me right back in it. If you look at week number 2, you'll notice here that that deficit continues to grow. I have to be at a higher deficit day in and day out. So I can't just walk away from it. This is how I'm going to ensure that I get that excess body weight off of me. If you look at week number 3, again, I'm still mostly at pace. Wherever it's highlighted in green, I am above my calorie deficit pace. And if you look at week 4 or right? That should say week 4, but this is week 4. I'll update that next time. Yesterday, I was slightly off pace. I was in a 7,000 calorie deficit because I had a refeed and my pace was about 500 more calories. But of course, when I throw an ADF in, when I throw a full day of fasting in, look how quickly I catch up to that deficit. I'm currently at 9,300 calorie deficit at almost 3 pounds of fat loss, the goal that I need to be. But you'll notice every day counts. Every day matters. Every day I have to put effort in because every day that caloric pace continues to grow. Every day it continues to grow. So even if I hit that 10,509 calorie deficit on, let's say, 2 days from now, it doesn't matter because I need to show that deficit by the end of the month. Every day matters. Think about your journey. Think about the days where you told yourself, well, I'm just going to throw away the day. You know what? I'm just going to eat everything this weekend. It's Friday right now. Some of you might be in that mode right now where it's like, you know what? It's the weekend. I have this thing coming up on Saturday. I'm going out to dinner on Saturday. And you know what? Actually, I just got invited to go out Friday night. So I'm going to eat both of those days. So I'm just going to do whatever for the entire weekend. Really? You would do that? So then you're going to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner Friday, breakfast, lunch, dinner Saturday, breakfast, lunch, dinner Sunday. You still can't just keep it at an OMAD, even if you know you're going to be eating that entire day. Do you also have to let Sunday go to waste? Look at how quickly those numbers add up, especially if you're putting yourself at a deficit. Think about all of the time you've wasted if you're not taking use of those calories and going to the gym. Think of do not waste your time. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy your time. It doesn't mean that you can't be out. It doesn't mean you can't be social. Just don't waste the entire weekend. Why would you do that? Take it from me, who has done that so many times. Okay, that's my nerd stats. I have less than 15 minutes. I have about 10 minutes. So we're going to do this quick. We're going to do fit check. Fit check's where I stand back here and I show you what I look like physically, even if I am feeling bloated, even if I'm up 5-10 pounds, but also when I'm feeling lean, like today, right at 139 pounds. So for me, I have been, and I'm going to throw this real quick, I do these fit checks for accountability. That's why I'll stand there even if I'm feeling bloated. I've been overweight my entire life as a child, and you see people throwing up the fit check emoji of this one right here. I've been overweight my entire life. As an adolescent, in my teenage years, I was already morbidly obese. In my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I share those photos because I have been like that my entire life, but look at me now where I've lost that weight and kept it off for almost 2 years. Naturally, I don't take medication. I'm not on GLP-1. I have not had weight loss surgery, no Ozempic, nothing like that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take medication. I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider GLP-1 or weight loss surgery, but I share this because as someone like me who's in my mid 40s, I've been able to lose this weight and keep it off naturally. And you might have the opportunity to do so as well if you start working on accountability and your habits and practicing imperfect consistency. So let's go ahead. We'll do fit check. I'm currently wearing a size, this is a boys extra large shirt. This is a pretty slim shirt, but even this shirt is starting to look a little big on me now. These pants that I'm wearing are size 14 boys pants. Why do I wear boys clothes? Because I'm short. I'm only 5'3", but it makes shopping really cheap. Oh, I got to lift this up. Okay. So front shot. I mean, even I can see at this point how slim I'm getting now. Side shot right here. Like this is pretty, rear, side. That's pretty much fit check. Yes, I do have extra fat. You can see here, this is the belly fat that I'm trying to lose. This is why I say I do not care. This is why I say I do not care what the scale says, because what does the scale matter if I have this fat that's still on me? Do you see that? Do you see that as I grab at that? That's what I'm trying to get rid of. Now, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not all belly fat. I'm sure there's a good amount of loose skin, but I know that I still have some belly fat to lose. For me, that's where most of my extra fat is. Everywhere else at this point is pretty much, I'm not saying there isn't fat elsewhere. And you know what? That's where, because listen, everyone, it's less than 2 weeks before my 2-year anniversary. And I have a DEXA scan scheduled on November 6th. So we'll see where my numbers are at then. But like I said, it isn't just about what the scale says. And like Miss Peaceful One throwing up non-scale victory emojis, that's exactly it. What does it matter what the scale says? When to me, I think what matters more is, can I wear a very slim shirt and feel like the fat isn't hanging off of me? I'd rather have that than what the scale says. What does it matter what the scale says? I'm more interested in what I look like in the mirror. And I don't mean that in a vain type of way. I mean, yes, I do as well, but I guess I'm just trying to say that the scale isn't everything. That's all I'm talking about. So, okay, we're going to break into Q&A. We only have about 5 minutes, everyone. I'm sorry, but tomorrow we'll probably have a longer live stream. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them now. I will try to answer as many as I can. In the meantime, while you might be asking questions, if any of you are looking for help or additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can go over a game plan and a strategy, and my goal is to help you get to your goal, just like I do on these daily live streams. That is the ultimate goal, is to get you to where you want to be, to find health and happiness. We all have that same goal. That's all that I'm trying to do, and in a way that you can be accountable. It's easy on paper to lose weight. We all know what we have to do for the most part. Sometimes it's the accountability piece that we're missing. Finallyfasting.com if you're interested in something like that. And if any of you want to maybe support in an additional way, you can go to the link in the description of this live stream and you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. What is that? If you look at people in chat and they have green next to their name, or they have a little emoji, a little F emoji next to their name, that's because they're part of the Finally Fasting fam. If you do join, you get to use that custom emoji. You will get that color next to your name, and you'll get your name on the intros of these live streams. So if that's something you're interested in, just check out the link in the description of this live stream. Okay. I was just looking for Margaret and Aisha. So Margaret says, what time will you be live streaming tomorrow, Jerome? Aisha says the same thing. What time do you plan on live streaming tomorrow, Jerome? I feel like at this point, both of you should just start asking it in creative ways. No, it's okay. You can keep asking it like that. So let me just check really quick. Tomorrow, okay, actually, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start blocking time off because tomorrow is I already have a lot going on tomorrow. Wow. I didn't realize I had that many sessions. Okay. I have a lot of sessions tomorrow. So tomorrow we will live stream anywhere between 2 p.m. to, I would say, 2:30 p.m. Central. It might be a little later than that. Just depends on my workload tomorrow because I still have some other work I need to do for another client as well. So I'd say anywhere between 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. Central. Thank you for the questions, Margaret and Aisha. Thank you, Sharika. I appreciate the kind words. Thomas says, do you keep stats on how many days in a row you have done this? Done what? Fasting? Yeah. I have the entire spreadsheet right now. I literally put my stats down every single day. That's my accountability. I fill that out every day. That's why when I coach people and I give them a spreadsheet, I tell them they don't have to use it, but If you think it'll be helpful, use it. I mean, I look at it. I give, when I coach people, I give them a spreadsheet to use. They get an opportunity to have nerd stats like me, but it's up to them if they want to be accountable on that day. I don't know if that's exactly what you were asking, Thomas, but hopefully that's helpful. Oh, do I keep stats on how many days in a row I've done this? Live streams? Today's 93 days. 93 days I've been in here. So Eric says, hello, everyone, leaving for the airport, but wanted to say hi before I go. Eric, enjoy your time. We'll watch the replay at the airport, but keep hitting that timer and doing it one day at a time. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate you. Eric had posted a comment, I think yesterday. Eric and I had talked yesterday. Anyway, wishing the best for Eric, and I hope you have a great time. I'm sure we'll be talking soon. Maybe you'll get some internet while you're abroad, so you'll have to keep us posted. Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Faith asks, hi, what kinds of drinks do you take while fasting? Me, I take water. I'll do iced coffee black. I will drink unsweetened tea. I usually like iced unsweetened tea or unsweetened iced tea. I drink 0-calorie drinks. I'll drink a Coke Zero. I'll drink a Diet Dr. Pepper. I'll drink a sparkling water. Other people do similar things. Does that mean you have to do that, Faith? No, it doesn't. Do what works for you. Try different things out. If that's not something you like, don't. But if it helps you prolong your fast, go for it. Hopefully that's helpful, Faith. I do have a video or a short on what I drink exactly. I'm sure other people would probably share as well, but that's what I have usually after a drink. So, or when I drink on a fast. And sometimes it changes. It's not always just water. It's not always just a Coke Zero. So usually if it's a 0-calorie drink, I will have it, especially if it helps me fast longer. All right, everyone. That's it for today. I know we're cutting a little short today, but that's because I still have 2 sessions after this, and I still have some other work to do too. Oh man, it's a long day today. Okay, everyone. Thank you for being here. A huge thank you to Miss Peaceful One, but also to Adeline for the huge donation. Miss Peaceful One, thank you so much. Adeline, thank you for the gigantic donation today. I appreciate you so much. To all my Finally Fasting fam members, thank you for supporting me in that additional way as well. I appreciate you all as well. I think I said as well more than once now. And to all my regulars, to all my everyday accountability people who show up and share and are kind and supportive to all of you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much. You make the community what it is. So I am very appreciative of you. We will do this again tomorrow. Will you show up? Will you be accountable? Can you say, this is how I look at it. For people who are new here or for people who shared what they're going to do and they've never shared before, listen, whether you fast for that long or not, it's okay if you don't. There's no judgment, no embarrassment about that. All I want you to do is say to yourself, can I show up for myself even if I do not complete this fast? Can I still show up for myself regardless? And if you can, come back tomorrow. Let me know. I would be thrilled to see you if you can do that, regardless of what happens. All right, everyone, I'm going to do my obligatory wave because I have to get onto this next coaching session. So there's my wave goodbye. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Okay, that's it. Okay, bye.